watching TVS, Television Simulator.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install Television Simulator 99 on Windows. This is a quick start video, so we're only going to be covering the bare bone minimum requirements. Alright, so let's get going. We are going to open up a web browser and go to gcpw.art/tvs. From the project's homepage, click on Releases, and then you'll see the latest version of the program here. You can scroll down to the bottom where it says Assets. It might be collapsed, but you just expand it out and you'll find this zip file, TVS Public Beta. Now you'll download that, open it up, and it'll be this zip file. You'll see there's an index.html and then a whole bunch of other files. We're going to extract them, and you'll find that now they're in your downloads folder. You can run them from here if you'd like, but for the example that we have here, let's just cut all these files and make a new directory just for Television Simulator. So if you go somewhere, you might go to your documents or your user folder, but I'm just going to go right to the C drive and I'm going to create a new folder called TVS, and I'm just going to create another folder and call it public. I'm going to paste all the TVS files in here. So the way that it works is Television Simulator is a website. It's not a Windows application, a Mac application, etc. So if you were to click on index.html and open it up, you'll see there's absolutely nothing on the screen, and the reason why is because you need a web server to be able to serve it. Now, I'll have another video for how to get going with the Docker image, but for now I'm just going to show you a static web server that you can use. This is just one example. You can, if you're familiar with web hosting, you can use a different one, but just for the sake of this example, I'm going to choose one I found that's free. If you go to staticwebserver.net with dashes in between, then you'll find this program. And as I say, you can use any static web server that you want, but this one just seems pretty easy. So I'm going to download it for Windows. I'm going to open it up, and you'll find this exe, staticwebserver.exe. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it here in my TVS directory. And eventually what you'll want to do, if you're going to be using this every day, or if this is the server that you're going to be running TVS on, then you'd want to start it up as a service rather than the way that I'm going to do it. You can write configuration files and stuff for it, but I'm just going to get started. Alright, we are here in the command prompt under C TVS, and we've got the static web server downloaded and extracted here, and we're just going to type staticwebserver.exe and then -- port, and you can choose what port you want it to listen on. That's just kind of the number that you'll enter in to get to it. We're going to say 8787 just because that's what's in the example. And then we're going to say -- root, and that's the root directory, which is this folder here called public, and we're going to serve everything out of there. And we're going to say /public. And then when you run it, you'll click allow so that you can access it on other computers. And then we're just going to open up a new tab and write localhost : 8787. And here you are. we are running TVS. Okay, so here we are. We've installed a static web server, we've downloaded Television Simulator, and we are running it right out of the box. Alright, so we've got TVS installed. Let's take a look at controlling it. If you look down at your keyboard, you'll see up, down, left, and right are all going to work for you. Up is going to go channel up, down goes down, left and right toggle the volume. So if we go here, then it gets slower, and to the right it goes higher. Press M to toggle mute. If you want to go to a specific channel, then you use the number keys. Now you can see we're on the program guide, and the program guide will just show by default all of the channels that we have programmed in at the current time. So if you see any channel that you want to go to, you can just enter it in. I'm not going to wait for this. I'm just going to enter one that I know. Channel 162, for instance. This is a different type of guide theme, the older one. But yeah, you could just go up and down and navigate to any channel you want. Here's a Kino channel. Here's the weather channel, and so on. Now let's talk about picture adjustment. If you use Alt-1 on your keyboard, and you got to use the ones that go across the top, not the number pad, but if you do Alt and then the number 1, you can turn off scan lines. If you do it again, it'll show them. So for every number from 1 to 7, right now anyways, that is a picture effect. So number 1 is scan lines, number 2 is picture noise, 3 is blur. You can see that it shows you down at the bottom when you disable these what you disabled. 4 is the shadow mask. 5 is the channel change noise, like the little blip that you hear. 6 is the bezels. And one interesting thing about the bezels, if you do Shift-Alt-6, then it will trigger a change in the bezel types. So you can see this is the cylindrical one, that's the flat one, and then none. But Alt-6 will hide them. And number 7 disables automatic screen scaling. Another thing you could do is scale the picture horizontally or vertically, and you do that using Shift, Alt, and the arrow keys. So you can scale the screen horizontally, you can scale it vertically. 100 is 100%. So if you need it to be slightly taller and slightly wider to fit a bigger screen, you could do that, and it'll just adapt to it. These will all persist across page reloads, so if you refresh the page, everything is the way that it was. If you press F1, you can see the keyboard controls. You just click on a key, scroll down, and you can see, if you press F1, you'll go to the help page. If you're pressing up on the keyboard, you can see you can go up in the tuner, or you can do Shift-Alt-Up to scale the screen. So you could just click on any of these and find out what they are. Video game controls, picture adjustments, etc. And then if you click on a modifier key, you can see all the stuff that I was just talking about here. Or if you click on a category down here, you can see all of the controls that are assigned to everything. So the info button, etc. Let's go to the setup now. And you'll see this is the setup page. All of the settings that we did using the hotkeys are all shown here. So the blur, the noise, the scan lines, etc. And then you can also manually enter in the screen scaling or the screen width and height, like the base canvas. And then there are a few integrations down here, but they aren't very well supported just yet. We're still working on that. So if you save here, it'll save and then go straight back to the TV. And you can get to the setup page by pressing F4 from the home page, or going to /setup. So, there you have it. That's the way that Television Simulator 99 is able to be installed and run locally on Windows. You can see that this static web server is still running here. When you're done playing around with everything, you can just press the close button and close it. And now you'll see that the page won't load anymore because the web server is done. And if you want to start it again, you could create a batch file to run that command I was talking about before, where it's running on the port that you want it to run on. Or you could create a configuration file, or you can use a different program if you prefer. I'm going to be showing a few different programs in upcoming videos, but for this one I just wanted to show really basic, how do you get going with everything. We haven't even covered how you can edit the configuration file. This is the configuration file that you'll be editing once you start defining your own channel lineup. I'm not going to cover it in this video, but like all the channels that you saw already are defined over here, and there's a few different options for each one, and you'll start creating your own. But that's for another video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.